So, hello again. This is OZ9 Alpha Alpha Radio Carsten once more. I'm the developer of the Greencube Terminal program, which you see on the screen here. In my previous video, I showed how to make all the settings, and also I explored some of the features, especially the simulate or inject window where you can simulate messages from the satellite. And this video here is, well, I just started it when the satellite had AOS. It rose a few minutes ago. And you can see the communication from it, messages from other users on the satellite, where you see some of the messages, some activity, some call signs, and my idea was that we can try and make a few contacts, and I can also try and show you some of the more some of the other features, especially under the menu item functions, where there are some interesting things you can do. First, I will show you a recent addition to the program. This has not yet been released, but it will be in a future version. How it will look when it's done, I'm not sure yet, but I will use this screen just to show you the current footprint of the satellite of Greencube as it is right now. You can see it moves on this path. The yellow dots is where the satellite will be when I have footprint, so it will cover my location all the way over here. And the path currently has more than 1 hour left. You can see there's more than 1 hour until loss of signal. You also have the current azimuth elevation, the altitude above Earth, the range to the satellite, and the footprint, the diameter of the footprint. This view also shows the stations currently on the pass. You can see this small icon pops up around where stations are being heard from. This is based on the grid locator the stations are sending in their messages. As I said, this is preliminary. Whether it will be included or not and in what form, I don't know, but I just brought it up just to show you some of the big footprint that the satellite has at the moment. So let's get that out of the way. Before we try and do some further some communication, I want to show you this one live QSO viewer. This is also a function I have made some versions ago. Basically, it shows you a graphical representation of who talks or who connects to who. The lines show the direction of communication. In this case, you can see Whiskey Uniform 2 Mike has sent a message to G1INU. When you see the lines are gray and with an arrow in one direction, this shows you who sent a message to who. Once the lines have an arrow in both ends, both station has transmitted communication to each other. An orange line means that one station has sent 73 to the other station. Once the line gets green, we don't have that yet here, but once the line gets green, this means that both station has sent 73 to each other. And that is, on this view at least, it is identified as a complete QSO. Whether or not you need that to decide a QSO is complete, it's out of it's not a topic of this discussion here, but it's just to show you what the idea is behind this. You can always see that which station is the most popular on a pass. You see everybody wants to talk with the EA5GX, and UT1FGMM is also popular, although he has not yet been seen, at least from my station. Blue call sign is a call sign that has been called but has not yet been heard by me. And if I send a message, my call sign will be shown in red here. So this is just another way of looking at communication. You can see that K8OCN and DL5FCW has exchanged 7-3 both way, and the line is now green. So this is mostly cosmetics. You can use it to show other people how things are working, who communicates with who, and so on. It's just another way of seeing things. So let's get that out of the way. There are some other 3 other things here you can use to generate reports. We will do that at the end here. And there is a simple Explore folder. This will bring up a file explorer to the folder where all the files used by Greencube Terminal is. There are the ADI file is the ADIF file that I have selected in settings. cty.dat is a downloaded file of DXCCs. And LOTW user activity is LOTW users and timestamp for last upload that is used for the LOTW column here. Monitor log, yeah, I can show you that. Monitor log is all the traffic that is seen, and that is written in a log file that is being appended to. So all traffic is shown in here. Debug.log is a file with a lot of details in and a lot of technical babble. It contains a lot of details about what's going on every time a frame is received from the satellite. It can sometimes be nice to use in order to find different errors, problems. So it's mostly a technical tool, but sometimes you can get some decent information out of it for normal use. That's pretty much what's in the Greencube Terminal document folder. It is located under Documents and Greencube Terminal, always on your PC. You can see that there are a couple of things going on here at the screen at the moment. And we have also in the dupe list here, we have some information. I explained that in the first video, but just a quick look back to that. You have the call sign, you have the grids, you have the loss of signal time. This is the amount of minutes and seconds and hours until that station loses the signal. You can see how many times each station has sent a CQ and how many transmitted messages in total from the station. Sorry, you can also see the current elevation at the remote station. And if it's a US station, you will also see the state the station is located in. LOTW is the status for LOTW upload from the station. If you have a star, it means that the station has uploaded to LOTW not later than the amount of days specified in here. So you know that all the stars are stations that have uploaded to LOTW in less than 30 days. And all the stations you see here is less than 30 days. And again, if no star is present, the station is not the LOTW user. So at the moment there are some traffic, and I think that W8LR is in a wrong grid. I'm pretty sure he is in EM98, but nevertheless, let's not dwell on that. You can also see that some call signs are in normal font, and some call signs are in bold. All the call signs in bold are using Greencube Terminal, and currently we have 39 unique call signs, and 18 of them are using 31 of those are using a Greencube Terminal. So that is all the bold stations. They are using a Greencube Terminal. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what's going on in a dupe list. And again, you can click on LOS, and then it will change to T since, and that is the time since the station was last heard. The list here is always sorted so that stations that have been heard the latest are at the top. You see the T since is the lowest number at the top, and that is always the case in this. Yeah, now you see that Whiskey 8 Lima Radio changed to EM98, and now the elevation and LOS is updated correctly. So that's that was just a simple mistake. The line is red, although I already worked EM98, but the program is made so that if it picks up a grid that has not been worked before, in that case it was RM98, even though that the station at some point transmits another grid that have been worked, the red color sticks, and I did it that way because I wanted it to, you know, to be absolutely sure that if there was a grid that were not worked before, I would keep the color despite that the grid maybe was updated. But every message that comes in, I search for grids. I mean, in this case, K8OCN, he has EN83, so I know that EN83 is probably a grid. So I extract that as a grid, and by that you see that you could imagine that something else could be taken from a grid. So I'm always careful, and if I at one time thought that W8LR was in another grid I didn't work, I keep the color just to be sure that I would spot a new grid. So let's try and call one of the guys here. Robert, I have worked many times before, but I'm sure he can handle. I call him again. So I double-clicked Robert's call sign DL5GAC. I go up, I press report, and you see the message was sent, and we wait for a reply back, but we was not digipeated. So we wait, you know, some seconds, and we try our luck again. And depending on how the pass is, how many users there is, we might have to do this a lot of times. The important thing is not to get crazy and just send endlessly. So we wait a few seconds, and we see if we are lucky. Yeah, this is the way it normally is when you do presentations. Nothing is going the way you thought it should do, but that's the way life is. We see if we're lucky. Yeah, that's what I was talking about in the first video, congestion on the satellite. Even though we are only 43 users right now, there is probably a lot of communication going on and people blocking each other the way I'm also blocking when I transmit. But yeah, for the sake of demonstration, I will be a little bit more persistent and see if I can get a digipede from the satellite. And there we have it. We got lucky. And you see that this case, it took 16 transmissions from me just to get one single digipede back. And that is a digipede success of 6.3%, which is actually not that low. I mean, it can get much worse at times. But it can also get a lot better. If it's an empty pass with not a lot of users, you can get basically 100% digipede success, but there is probably no stations to work. But yeah, that's just the way it is. We all share a common frequency, and we all have to live with the shortcomings of the satellite. We only have one channel, and we are a lot of users that are trying to communicate. So right now we're waiting for DL5 GAC to reply back, which he hopefully does. And when he does that, we can I can show you how replying back and logging functions. I showed you some of that in the previous video with simulated messages, and hopefully on this one we can do a real one. But yeah, it depends on if Robert is going to reply or not. He probably is. I tend to on Greencube I tend to try and avoid duplicate contacts when there are a lot of activity, as there is right now. If it was a quiet pass with only 5 stations, I mean, there's no problem in working others and writing good night or good evening or whatever we want to write to each other. But on passes where there are a lot of traffic, I would normally not try and make a duplicate contact. In the first video, I also talked about not doing multiple transmissions in rapid succession. And yeah, you see an example here with 3 packets from one user with a second between. So all 3 transmissions were sent in at one time from the user, and all 3 got digipeded. That wasn't really necessary. I mean, send one packet, see if it's digipeded. If not, you can send another one, like we did up before here when contacting DL5 GAC. And when you look at the call sign RN6MA, you can see the call sign is not in bold. It means he is not using terminal. Again, if he was using terminal, it would not be possible because there is a timeout of 3.3 seconds before you're allowed to transmit again. Or if you hear your own digipeded message, you are allowed to transmit again. But and it's not to blame RN6MA for anything. I mean, it's just the way it is. Some people does it in order to get digipeded. A lot of users get frustrated when they don't get digipeds. So many of them just hits transmit 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times in quick succession in hope that at least one of the messages gets out. And this can easily be the case here. And it seems like maybe GL5 GAC didn't hear us. You know, I know that Robert, he hears everything because he has a super duper station, but there can be some fading of the signals, etc., that does that, or he could also be transmitting at the same time, so he didn't hear the package from the satellite. And in this case, you can see it's been around 4 minutes since we transmitted. So I will try and send another package to Robert to see if we can get his attention. And we didn't get a DigiPeat here, so we try once more. And see if we can get lucky again. And at the same time, you can see the the DigiPeat success, the percentage just gets lower and lower. And that is because we are sending package out and we don't get any DigiPeats back. So we wait a little bit. And I can tell you, while we're waiting for some success, my antenna in use is a 2x 15 element cross Yagi on 70 centimeters, 3.5 meter long boom. And the power at the antenna at the moment is around 30 watts, 30 watts at the antenna feed point. And that is not the biggest signal, but it's certainly also not the smallest one. So it takes some power, and most of all, it takes a lot of luck, because you need to send your signal to the satellite while nobody else is doing it. So you need to find that magical space in other people's transmission in order to get a signal digipeated. But let's see if we can make it. Yeah, it's not easy. This pass is pretty bad. Today is Saturday, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are normally the worst days with regards to a lot of activity. You see that we already have 48 unique users, and the satellite has only been up for like 20 minutes or so. And there we were lucky. The package went out and was digipeated, and yeah, we hope that that Robert saw it, DL5 GAC. If we look on T-Sense, we can see that it is 7 minutes since DL5 GAC last was heard. And that is probably because he's just lurking and looking for new stations or grids to work. So let's see if we are indeed lucky that he responds back. Yeah, let's see if we are lucky. Yeah, while we wait for hopefully a confirm from Robert, we can look at some other things here. There's an example here of multi-call being used. You can see that EA5GX, which if we looked at the live QSO viewer, he was quite popular. You see a lot of stations are calling him. So he's now using multicall. In this single message he sent out, he replied 4 different stations, and using that method, he actually saved a lot of airtime. As I said in the first video, the difference between sending a message to 1 and to 5 call sign is only around 280 milliseconds, and a complete message is around I think 700 or 800 milliseconds. So you only go from 600-700 milliseconds to maybe 800 milliseconds when you reply to 8 stations or 5 stations at once, and that is a lot of saved airtime. So a lot of stations, or more and more stations, are beginning to use this feature, and especially for rare stations, rare grids and DXCs, it's a benefit as they can reply many stations in one single message. Typically, stations that are in a rare grid, for instance, will get maybe 50, 60, 70 calls on a pass. So they are quite busy when they have to reply to all those call signs at once, and the ability to click on several call signs and reply them in one message is pretty nice, at least according to those who use it. And it saves some airtime, and it makes the satellite free for other users by saving airtime. So this was an example of that. In that case, EA5GX, he would have seen these call signs up in his calling me, because they have all called him. KI0KB called him here, and that would mean that KI0KB would be put up in the calling me list at EA5GX station, together with FG80J and AG2J and KQ4DO. They would also be listed, and he could just click on these call signs and then just press his Roger 73 macro and send the message to the stations at one time. So again, we see some multiple messages here. In this case, it's a user that uses terminal. It could very well be that he is not seeing his own digipeats, so he tries to send it again. As I said, that can happen because of fades from the satellite. It could be local QRM, building, trees, you name it. It could be there's a lot of reasons it could be, but when you send messages with only 1 second between them, you didn't even let the satellite have a chance of digipeating your message. So don't do that. Wait and see if you see the digipeat. And if not, then send it again. That's yeah. That is some hints of how to operate on the Greencube. Until we let's see if Robert is lucky to get through at some point. There's probably a lot of traffic right now, but we just let it roll and see if maybe he comes back at some point. I know that he has my call sign is in his calling me list, because, as I said, Robert has one of the best stations in Germany and not globally maybe, but he has a damn good station. So I'm sure he had heard me. We can go to some of the other functions up here. We have an export lines with my call. You can make a text file. I've just created the file, And let's see. Oh, there's no, yeah, of course, because no one has called me. Yeah, we'll wait until Robert replies. Export contents of dupe list. We can try that while we wait. Let's see if we can. I'll just find it here. Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, I needed to update. Yeah, this was the first one, lines with my call signs. This is basically the traffic window filtered, and only the lines with my call signs in are shown. In that case here, you can see all my transmissions. This one was a reply back, a DGP'd package. And then I tried some transmissions and got a DGP'd again when I called him the second time. That was it. And then the second one we did was the dupe list. It's a CSW file. Basically, this is the stations and the grid lines from the dupe list. So it's a complete list of all the stations currently in the dupe list. Some of the rovers and other persons have asked for this feature, so it was put into the program. We can export signal quality also to a CSW file. I can find that here. One moment. No. There we have, this is the signal quality. Basically, it's a timestamp, the azimuth to the satellite, the elevation, and the signal quality in percentage. The first one was really bad. You can have signal quality of 0% but still decode it, but you're right at the edge. And you also have the range to the satellite. This file is used for generating plots of when the signal from the satellite is low. You can, in this file, try and see if there is some, correspondence with the azimuth or the elevation of the satellite. Maybe the azimuth tells you that you have an obstruction at some point. Sometimes it's maybe depending on the range to the satellite and so on, and you can do some analysis in here if you want to. Some users asked for that, and yeah, and the function is there. Let's see. What do we have here? Yeah, we have these two we saw. Make report of QSOs and pass. Let's try that one while we hopefully get a reply from Robert. Let's see. Maybe we are not lucky, but yeah, we'll try. The QSO report. Let me show you that. The QSO report is basically just a simple text file. It shows you...
Message to me from Delta Lima 5 Golf Alpha Charlie.
Wow, we were lucky. Robert replied us. DL5GAC, OZ9AAR Alpha, Radio, Roger, 73, thank you. So, Robert got up in our calling me because we got a message for him. So, we click DL5GAC and we send Roger 73s to him. And maybe we will have to wait and try many times. We don't know, but let's give it a shot and see if we can get a package through the satellite. It's not sure that we are as lucky as Robert was, but let's try a few times and see. Yeah, I'm a bit persistent here, and I should wait some longer, but I would like to get the message through so that I can show you the procedure. Yeah, let's see if we're lucky. Nope, we're not. So let's see one last time, and then we will take a break. No. Okay, let's look at the QSO dump. It's a text file, as I said. The local station is basically the from call sign. In this case, it's let's go down to let's just start with KF2T. KF2 Tango has transmitted. He is in grid FM19. He has transmitted a total of 12 times, called CQ 3 times, and he has completed 3 QSOs according to what I have received. And the stations he have worked and called, the DX stations, EA5GX, F4IAA, W8LR, and EA5GHD. And for each of the DX stations, you can see their grid, and if the QSO is complete. Complete means that both stations got 7 threes from or the DXC. The DXCC station or the DX station got a 7 threes from KF2T. There is down here, there's an exception. EA5GHD did not get a 7 threes from KF2T. He might have done it, but I have not received it. So this log is only what I have seen at my reception. And this goes on for all the stations. You can see that K8OCN here, he has transmitted 9 times and he has completed 6 QSOs. All have gotten 7 threes from him. So that's a good example of it. And this goes for all the stations here. You can see IK3ITB did not complete UT1FG MM. I don't think actually UT1FG MM was, I didn't hear him on this pass so far. And also AC90 was trying to call him, but did also not complete. And in this case, if we look in the live QSO viewer, we can find UT1FG at the bottom here. You can see that he is blue, and that means that I have not heard any transmissions from that station. There you see my try with DL5GAC. The line is still orange, and that means that only one of us has gotten a 7 threes from the other, and that was actually me who got the 7 threes from Robert, and my 7 threes to him has not yet been digipeated. Let's try again and see if we're lucky. Yeah, probably not. A lot of traffic. As I said, Saturday evening is if not the worst, then one of the worst times during a week to try and communicate on Greencube. Oh, we were lucky. So we got our 7 threes through to Robert, and if we go up into the live QSO viewer, and we find the line between Robert and I, you see the line now is green, so the QSO is complete. And again, if we go up here and we try and make report of QSO in pass, we save it, and sorry, I'm working on another screen here to find the data. I'm trying to pull it in here. If we go, let's see if we can find my call sign. We can. You see a local station TL5GAC has transmitted 4 times. At least I have heard him four times. and he has completed one QSO, and I would think that that is the QSO with me. Yes, it is. I got 7 threes from Robert. He has also called UT1FGMM, which was not heard as we saw before, and KJ7DZ, which did not yet get a 7 threes from Robert. So that one was not complete as I have received it here. The same with the Fox Golf 8 Oscar Juliet. He's also trying to work EA5 GX, and that way you can see all the different ones down here. I can find myself as the local station. I'm in J045. I transmitted 3 times. I was repeated on the satellite. I didn't call CQ, and I have completed one QSO, which was with Robert, of course. So this is the list, and yeah, there are currently 62 stations that have transmitted something on the satellite. So that was that, and let's see if there's anything interesting here we need to touch. Probably not. So, as I said, Robert and I have exchanged 7 threes, and everything is nice. So I go up here and I lock call sign DL5 GAC. Now, I use, as I said, I use in the first video, I use AC lock, and I will just pull that over here. You can see that Robert's contact with me was locked. And this is with AC log, and as I said, there are tons of different log programs you can use. What I also did in settings, as you saw previously video, is that I also enabled the logging to ADF file. And if I go into the folder, there is an ADI file here, AC log ADIF. Oh, that one comes over on another screen. I open that file, and we can find the line that I just logged here. That's a normal ADF file that can be imported into different log programs, LOTW, and so on. And you see the various fields here: grid square, frequency, mode, set name, yeah, all kinds of stuff. Also the elevation of the antenna. Both for my side, my antenna, 45 azimuth, elevation 51.5, and DX, that is Robert's azimuth 32.8 and elevation 39.0. I also added set name and grid and range into the comment field. That was something I set in settings. You can see that is put into the log. That was, let me show you, that was what I did inside general settings, I think. Yeah, this point here, add set name, grid and range to log. That was what you just saw there. Let's see. Yeah, grade ADIF file. I won't cover that. That's for rovers, where you create specific ADIF files for unique files for your call sign and grids. Something you have to experiment with yourself. It's explained in the release notes and in the website also. So that was, I think that was it. There are more things, especially the multi-call, but I won't pester the satellite calling all the friends that I have worked before. It will probably also be hard because the satellite is pretty busy at the moment. But yeah, you can see some of the stations, and that I'm very happy about. That is that more and more stations are beginning to use the multi-call feature. And an example here, I mean, EA5 AML should have transmitted 3 different separate messages in order to do this. And by adding 2 other call signs, he maybe only added 180 milliseconds or so, 0.8 seconds to the message length, and then he replied 2 other stations at the same time. So that's a huge saving. It is true that by adding more call signs to a message, the risk of the packet being destroyed is bigger because the packet is longer and the packet needs to be intact in order to be received. But adding, in this case, maybe 0.8 or 0.2 second to a message that is already 0.7 milliseconds long, it's not a big deal, and the benefit of getting a packet through is very high compared to sending separate messages. But it is something you have to consider. I mean, I've seen stations reply to up to 18 call signs in one message, and that is extreme. And that is a message like that will be I don't know, probably 1.5 seconds long or something, and the risk of being destroyed is high. But again, if you just pass that one single package, you have replied 18 stations in one. So the the benefit is big, but you also have to take in mind that the packet can get lost, so you need to send it again and again. But yeah, you get the point. Let's I don't know if let's we can try and look. Let me check what the now the US is out of footprint. You see, US and South America are gone. And now we have Europe and Japan still in footprint, and that can also be pretty busy. There's a lot of European stations on, but let's try and risk it and send out a CQ and see if some. Oh wow, that was good. We were lucky. And let's see if someone are going to reply us. Probably not, because as you can see in the dupe list, I worked everybody. And although there are a lot of new stations coming on, it's not every day, and maybe 2 or 3 new stations a week, and yeah, they tend to get worked pretty quick by people. So that's yeah. Let's see if we are lucky, if somebody is going to reply. It's not guaranteed, but yeah, let's see. Anyway, what is more we could say here? Yeah, you can now see that US has lost footprint. They have LOS in that column here. AG2J is also LOS, but we didn't receive his grid, and because of that I cannot calculate his elevation and when he has LOS, but all the others have grids. Yeah, well, no, there are also 2 here that don't have a grid, but yeah, you get the point. I cannot calculate that unless I have the grid from the other station. Let's see if yeah, one other thing. As you can see up here, it's been 2 minutes since I issued a CQ, and now I'm getting impatient.
Whoopsie.
So I press
Sheriff Wyatt
CQ
has an
again,
important message for you.
And that doesn't go well. Sheriff Wyatt comes up and says, it's been less than 5 minutes ago. Maybe it's a good idea not to do it. And I say, well, let me fix it, or I can say, send anyway. I mean, it's up to you. But in this case, I will say, let me fix it, and don't send the message. We'll give it a few seconds more and see if somebody replies, and if not, we will just end the video. You get the point how it works. Let's see if there is anything else we need to cover. No, there are not. Yeah, one comment, because I know I will be asked, what is Frame Manager? Frame Manager is something I use for simulation and test while developing. It is not something that is available for normal users. This is because I'm running a special version of the program. Let's see what we can do. Live QSO viewer. Yeah, nothing, not much to explain more here. I think you can see that EA5GX is the most popular kit on the block here on this pass, and a lot of stations are working him. You see all the lines and all the call signs, and I worked Robert. Sorry, Robert, we worked before, but yeah, it was for demonstration purposes. Oh, yeah, there are some glitches here on this machine. Again, UT1FGMM was not heard at all. He's still blue. My call sign is red. Yeah, it's a dynamic view, and it updates, and the graph is always changing form because new connections are made between stations, and it's trust me, it's not easy to do the math behind this and have everything connected and lines going around and so on. So there are some quirks and things. You can, in fact, if you really want, you can actually grab. Hold on. You can actually grab a station. Oh, sorry. No, that's a bad. Yeah, it's not easy when things are changing all the time, but you can move the boxes around if you really want to. You can zoom in and out. You can even save it as a bitmap file. You can print it. You can do a lot of stuff here. But I did this view mostly to show the dynamics of a pass for other people to look at, and yeah, it's another way of looking at things, as I said. So nobody is answering me, and that's okay. No need to take up airtime working me again. As I said, I've worked everybody. One last thing that I didn't cover in the first video is the telemetry messages. I don't decode the telemetry in detail. I only show a few things from the satellite, from the telemetry. The battery voltage, which is important, and luckily that has for the last year stayed constant. It's a good sign. And some boot numbers for the different things. The OBC is the onboard computer, and the radio, which have been booted a few times. Typically, when there is a problem, it will continue rebooting itself every few minutes. That's why we have a large number. But other than that, and as we saw in the first video, you can disable showing the telemetry. If you remove that one, you won't get the telemetry lines in the traffic. So this was another long video. I hope that it showed you at least some of the features that I didn't cover in the first video. And as always, you can find me on Facebook in the IO-117 Greencube group, or on Twitter, or on email on my webpage. And as I said in the first video, please read the release notes and please read the webpage. Most of the information is there, but it requires you to read the page and at least try and read it before you ask or send me messages, because I get a lot of emails, and some of the most of the answers are actually on the web page. But if you can't find it, or if you have some serious trouble, don't be shy and just write me a message. I will do everything I can in order to help you. So that's it. Thank you for listening to yet another long video, and enjoy your time on Greencube, and hope to work you on the bird. Bye bye for now.